you think this doesn't look like Dahlia weather, you'd be right. It's 30 degrees out and windy as heck, but it's an exciting day because we're starting a bunch of Dahlia cuttings. First order of business, digging out the pots. This mess of crap.
You know how many tubers we're taking cuttings on by chance?
So we dug out all the pots, but there's one more important step before we can start potting these tubers up. Sophie, do you have anything to say to the camera? Nothing. So we're gonna wash all these with dish soap before we plant anything in them, just in case there's any bacteria or anything. It's just a precautionary measure. They'd probably be fine, but it's better to be safe than sorry. Back out in the cold, but only for a minute. Time to fill them up. So when we're doing cuttings, you want the soil to just be slightly damp, definitely not dripping wet, and you really don't even have to water these until they start to sprout. Jamie's dad sells plant starts, so luckily we have a nice warm greenhouse to work in.
Toasty. 80 something degrees.
So this year, if you bought any tubers off our website, you might have noticed that we had a bunch of varieties that said coming in stock 2026. Weather permitting, next year we'll have a lot more of the rare and sought after varieties, and that's why we're taking the cuttings right now, because most of these tubers will get 5-6 plants off of one tuber, so you pretty much can triple the amount of tubers you get at the end of the year.
Number.
So we took these out of the cooler about probably 5 weeks ago now, and what happens is they wake up. So if you bring them up to about 60 degrees, they start to send shoots, and then it gives them a head start. So then we just got to pot them up. So this is how we pot them up. They'll grow fine as long as the crown's exposed. So the bottom will root and then the shoots will come out of the crown. And then in about 3 weeks, we'll be able to take cuttings off of these. So here's a little sneak preview of next year's tuber sale. We got Kelgai Ann, Bloomquist Compare, Marn, Cafe Rosé, Skipley Spotted Gold, Sheer Heaven, My Forever, Cafe Royale, Castle Drive. A lot of good ones next year. So it's dark out now. It's still super cold and windy out there, but we're in the greenhouse. Burn the midnight oil, right?
Absolutely.
And then we also potted up a bunch of classics. We're going to be selling cuttings as potted plants for Mother's Day. So we got Blizzard, Jowey Linda, Diva, Caitlin's Joy, Linda's Baby, and then some others. So these are just ones that'll do really good in the garden as a cut flower and stuff that's performed good for us in the past.
Potted up, they were going to be taken for cuttings. We're going to call it a night. Stop back up in the morning.
Day 2 of cutting preparation, and it's still freezing out. So today we're potting up our pot tubers. Last year we planted these in 4-inch pots, and you can see what it does is it forces it to make a small tuber clump. And then the advantage of that is you get a good storing tuber that has a ton of eyes on it. So we're going to go ahead and pot these up in these 6-inch pots. So we just add a little bit of soil on the bottom of the pot and then put the tuber in, and then we're going to go ahead and fill it the rest of the way, just making sure the eyes are still exposed. So now the tuber can still root, but then all the eyes are above the soil, so we'll be able to take cuttings as it grows. And here's the finished product. We are going to be very busy in a couple weeks.